Hey guys, Sneaky Snake here, Brothers in Arms, World of Warships, and today's video we're going to take a look at our next community replay, and this one was sent in from my friend Napoc Skylaw, and he's playing in the brand new premium Tier 8 American battleship, the USS Massachusetts. He's playing by himself, and it's some domination here on the map Mountain Range. So if you'd like to send a replay to us, please send it to BIAworldofwarships@gmail.com. Please include the replay file, post-game screenshots if you have them, a description of the battle, and then, if you'd like myself or Spider to do the commentary, you can request for that as well. So, I have been gone for a little bit over a month from the channel. I know that there were some videos that went up that were mine during the month of June. However, I spent that entire month over in Europe touring around with my best buddy Kyle. And I gotta say, I had an amazing time. It was great. We went to so many different countries, you know, Germany, France, Italy, the whole 9 yards. And we drank a lot of beer, we had a lot of food, and we had a really good time. And yeah, Europe is everything that I thought it was going to be, and then some more. And considering I'm going to school to be a history major, it was awesome to go around and, you know, tour all the historical places and see all those really neat buildings and, you know, just all the museums and stuff. And I really enjoyed my time there. But now, here I am back in the States, you know, I gotta get back to being an adult. So I just moved into my new apartment. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be going to school here shortly in the fall. So yeah, back to the real life, I guess, and also back to YouTube. So this replay you're going to see here from Skylaw. The Massachusetts, as it is currently in the game, is a pretty unique American battleship. Basically, they can be characterized into two different types. You have your standard types from tiers 4 through 7, where they're very slow and they're close-range brawlers. And then you have your tiers 8 and up, which are the fast battleships that have really punchy 16-inch guns. But one thing that's noticeably missing from the American battleships is that they do not have the best performing secondaries of any of the battleships. German, much better. French, much better. Heck, I'd probably even say the Japanese have better secondaries. And, not many battleships besides the Yamato and I guess the Izumo are really known for their terrifying secondary suite on the Japanese behemoths, but the Massachusetts is the lone exception. And this thing, compared to the other premium Tier 8 American BB, the Alabama, and the Tech Tree version, the North Carolina, definitely comes with a pretty sick secondary arrangement, and you're going to see Skylaw take full advantage of that in this game. However, the first thing that we're going to hit on is the main battery. The thing between this, the North Carolina, and the Alabama is that the Massachusetts has significantly worse gun performance. And of course, as I say that, he manages 2 pens on the shimmy for 7,000 damage. But I digress. The Massachusetts gunnery is not the best. The Sigma is lower, the dispersion is higher, your maximum range is only 18.3 kilometers before you use your spotting aircraft. So compared to the Alabama and the North Cal, you're less accurate, your Sigma's worse, and you have shorter range. So it kind of forces you to get in closer to be able to land more accurate salvos on target. However, like I've said, the secondaries on this thing are pretty sweet. If you go with the full secondary build, you have a maximum range of 11.3 kilometers, and you can sport a 4-second reload. Now, granted, the secondary batteries on, the Massachusetts do require IFHE because, well, I guess they don't require it, but to be able to deal lots of damage with the secondaries, I highly recommend going with IFHE on these things. And the reason why is because these guns are so accurate. Pulling a little bit here from the Wikipedia page, or not the Wikipedia, but the wiki page, if you go with the Mike Yankee Sisosix flag, secondary battery modification 2, and then of course the captain skill manual fire control, the accuracy of the Massachusetts is just sublime. And you're going to see quite a few examples here in this gameplay of Skylaw's secondaries just ripping into enemy ships that are trying to confront him, and it's honestly pretty impressive. I've never seen a secondary battery that is this darn accurate, and you can see there on that first salvo that went out against the Republique, you saw just how tightly contested, or congested I should say, those secondary battery hits are, and right there, 16 hits in one, I guess, broadside of his starboard secondaries, which is just insane. So if enemy destroyers get a little bit too close to you, these things are extremely accurate. It feels like they're rail guns, and they're just able to hit so easily. I mean, again, he's aiming at the Worcester right there who's backing up, and just look at the secondary hits pile up very, very quickly. However, he's taken a lot of damage here at this point. The Shimakaze did drop his entire salvo of torpedoes at him, but luckily he managed to dodge him and only ate one on the nose. However, he did flood, so he had to use his repair, so he's in a little bit of a pickle. He's got 4 ships off his front, and he also has a Freddy that's on his side that's trying to get some shots into him as well. And you can see right here, look at the secondary battery. He does get a nice salvo right there with the forward guns, but then for 1,000 hit points, he manages to pick up the First Blood and the Close Quarters Expert on that Tier 10 Japanese destroyer. So right there, you just saw how quickly those secondary batteries were able to take care of that Shimakaze. And he's already up to 47 secondary hits, and there's certainly going to be plenty more throughout the course of this game. Now, when it does come to the soft stats of the ship, in terms of maneuverability and concealment, the Massachusetts does pretty well. 710 meter turning circle, which is not bad. 15.7 second rudder shift time, unupgraded, which is pretty good. 27.5 knots top speed. Obviously, these things aren't as fast as, say, the Bismarck class or the French battleships, but it's still going to be okay. And then, of course, the concealment on this thing isn't bad as well. It's a little bit worse than the Alabama, but it is still good enough at Tier 8 to be considered all right for a battleship. So the Massachusetts, basically in a nutshell, trades gun performance, main gun performance, for much better secondaries. That's basically the TLDR with this thing. The torpedo belt is pretty nice. You have 66,300 hit points, although at this point in the game, Skylab probably wishes he had a little bit more. He took an incredible beating as he was moving in there. And on a side note, for this map, I just don't like going to A, especially to the west on Mountain Range. Taking over the B and the C cap is much more ideal for a victory, for wind conditions, and you can see that his team is over there in quite a nice fight, but they do have the ship advantage. And all Skylab has to do over here is bide time and try to keep the enemy ships at bay for as long as possible, so that his buddies over there on the eastern side of the map can take care of business, and then they'll be able to win the game. But right now, he's waiting for his next heal to come back. He's only got 6 seconds left for the next one, but he's only at 12,700 hit points, and he does get detected here. He has been able to put himself in a position where the islands off his starboard side will be able to shield him from fire from the enemy Friedrich der Grosse, but of course, that is only temporary, as it appears the Freddy is trying to push through the A cap. He does have a buddy, Neptune, just off his port side, and also a Des Moines that's in the background trying to help, but unfortunately the Neptune gets killed. He does get a couple penetrations on the Buffalo, but then he gets nuked by his friend in the Des Moines with the armor-piercing shot. So now all he has to do is worry about the ships that are in front of him, and it's a Worcester and, of course, the Republique. Now, there's going to be a nice little teaching point right here, and it's something that is very important to know in close quarters combat, and I do plan on doing a bigger video about this in the future. Take a look where he shoots. Right underneath the turret, but it was up and it hit the upper part of the belt, 1 overpen, and 5 ricochets. At that kind of angle, at that kind of range, going right for the tip of the nose and letting the shells go and trying to penetrate through that citadel athwart ship in front of the A turret is a much better play. And considering the Republic's bow is not saturated with damage, he could have potentially gotten the kill. Now, he does learn his lesson right here, and he is going to pound the next salvo right into the superstructure for a couple of pens and overpens, as he manages to take care of that Tier 10 French battleship. However, he does back up a little too far broadside, and he does take a Citadel hit from the Freddy. This is, this is a sister ship to the Alabama after all, so it does take pretty decent damage, those being the South Dakota class battleships. The Citadel sits right at the waterline, I believe, but it is gettable if you know exactly where to aim. But you saw there, he really should have aimed at the bow. And again, he learned his lesson, and now he's going to shoot at the bow right here on the enemy Worcester, get about 9,000 damage, and then his secondaries should be able to finish the job. And you can see right there, just look at all of the hits that he's registering on that guy, as his fires do take care of business. He's back down to about 11,000 hit points, however, and he is detected with 2 ships aiming at him. So now he's going to move forward and get behind this island right here. So a pretty nice bit of maneuvering around in tight spaces. And again, this is a South Dakota class at the end of the day. It is more than capable of moving around in these tight areas. However, all of his friends have died. So at this point, he now faces a 2 versus 1 versus a Friedrich der Grosse that's on about 26,000 hit points, I believe. 21, okay, but he is using the heal. And then there's also an enemy gearing over here. So he's got his work cut out for him, but we're going to see if Skylaw will be able to take care of business. So At this point, 431 to 427, his team is finally starting to win that battle over on the eastern side, so he just has to continue to hold out here, and I really like this play that he makes. He decides to keep the island right off his aft end, and he's going to do a full turn here, and he's going to get his guns turned around to his port side. And I really like this because he's trying to bide time. He has run out of heals, he only has 16,600 hit points to work with, and he does not want to get into a direct confrontation with that Friedrich de Grosse in open water because, of course, that guy also has pretty good secondaries as well, and you can see here an excellent play, again, putting that very tall island in between him and the enemy German behemoth so that his secondary batteries are not able to get effective fire on him. A couple do make it over the island, but no fires were set, and he's going to be A-OK. Now, the Freddy is at 8.5 kilometers away and is giving chase, but again, he's put himself in a spot where he's going to be able to get all of his guns turned around almost in time for this next sequence of events to go about. Now, he is making an interesting choice and loading the high explosive shot. I don't necessarily agree with this choice. I really do think that the AP is so good, considering the German BB superstructures are just so massive that even if you get a bunch of over-penetrations, you're still going to do a lot of damage. And you can see right there, one shell hit his conning tower area and did 5,500 damage. So I don't agree with this ammunition choice, but hey, you know what? Hindsight is always 20/20, am I right? He gets the full broadside out on that guy. The dispersion actually looks pretty good, and he manages to do about 2,000 damage, breaking a bunch of AA guns, but he does set him on fire, which is very important because you can see the Freddy did use his repair immediately, and now you're going to see once again the power of these Massachusetts secondaries. I mean, look at the hits. He's already registered 47. He's down to 6,000 hit points, but this Freddy is now in a very bad situation as Skylaw is getting ready to shoot yet another salvo of high explosive. Hopefully a fire will be set again. There we go. 3,000 damage, and you can see the secondaries are just tearing into the superstructure of that guy. Very awesome stuff. He does take another decent hit. He's down to 3,808 hit points. However, he is trading with this Freddy pretty nicely. He is using his heal over there, and as he goes down to 1,019 hit points, I have no idea how he's going to be able to get out of this one alive. Fortunately for him, the gearing is not shooting at him, and I have zero idea why that enemy gearing is not trying to pop off some salvos with the main battery guns. As we all know, the gearing has one of the fastest rates of fire in the game, and it just completely perplexes me why that guy is not doing anything about Skylaw here on 1,000 hit points, but hey, you know what? If someone's making a bad play, let them. You can see the gearing is trying to smoke up his buddy in the Freddy, it appears, who is now turned hard to starboard to try to get away. You can see that his friends have finally captured B and C, and there's a friendly Khabarovsk that is moving over towards the A-cap to try and provide support. So all Skylar is trying to do right now is just continue to kite away, and if the Freddy does show himself, he will hopefully be able to finish him off. He does still have the high explosive loaded, but again, you know what? I guess at this point at the game, I guess it doesn't really matter. 8 kilometers away, the Freddy does appear. He gets the salvo off. Will he be able to get the kill? And yes, he does. 2 pens. Oh boy, how is he not dead? 458 hit points he has. More torpedoes coming in. He does not turn too hard to starboard, so he will be able to dodge the gearing. It appears that that guy is shooting widespread, so that actually tells me everything that I need to know about why that guy decided not to shoot his main battery guns at Skylaw here. He does get detected again, so that means, of course, the gearing has now come around the island that is just off his stern. He still has the high explosive shot loaded. Now, of course, BB-AP pens on destroyers are quite a meme and also are pretty potent, so I would definitely have the AP loaded here, especially for a ship that's as fat as the gearing. But anyway, he's getting all of his guns ready to go here, assuming that the enemy gearing will, you know, open fire on him. I mean, he's at 458 hit points. All it would take is one well-placed gearing salvo to be able to take care of business, but yeah. And then there we go. There's the gearing. He finally decides to open up, and one of the most incredible things that I think I've ever seen happens here. That gearing will literally fail to land one shell on target. Skylaw turns away, picks up the Confederate. You can see right there almost 3,000 on the opening salvo with the secondaries. That is just incredible. Like I said, these things are so darn accurate that even on ships that are moving away, you're still going to be able to register some decent hits. And like I said, this gearing, I honestly have no idea how to explain it. Skylaw does not take a single hit from his main battery. I don't know what to say. I don't know how that gearing could have completely screwed that up. The dude was at 7.5 kilometers when he opened fire, and yeah, I have no idea. Finally, some shells coming in, putting them down to 161 HP. But of course, the Habrovsk manages to take care of business. So yeah, I have no idea. That was so terrible. That was so terrible. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah, Skylaw getting away about as close to death as you possibly can, and he finishing off the game in style. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at the post-battle results. Alrighty guys, taking a look now at the post-battle results. 673,000 credits received and 12,800 total experience earned. He picked up Confederate, Fireproof, Close Quarters Expert, Dreadnought, and First Blood, dealing 149,000 points of damage off of 51 shell hits. He shot down 1 plane, sank 4 enemy ships, set 6 fires, and had 245 secondary hits. Very good stuff. Taking a look at the team score, 2,427 base experience. Skylaw, my man, very nice performance in the Massachusetts, even if you did get a little bit lucky there when the enemy team decided not to rush you down all at once. But you know what? That's fine, because you took advantage of their bad plays and were able to come out on top. I'd also like to give a shout out to the Woosta with 4 kills himself, 1694 base experience, and then of course the Des Moines in 4th place, who was able to help out Skylaw for a decent bit, and is probably one of the biggest reasons why he was able to stay alive. Taking a look at the detailed report, 83,000 damage dealt with the main battery, but look at that secondaries, 50,794. When you combine IFHE with all of the accuracy modules and skills for the secondaries, I mean, that's just insane. 50,000 damage with secondaries, and then toss on another 14k with the fires that were set, and yeah, that's pretty impressive, and that's why this is the Massachusetts thing. You put your American light cruiser captain in, you got IFHE, you know, and then I guess you respec and put in manual fire control for your secondaries, and then you're good, you're set, and you're going to be dealing a lot of damage with those things. And again, it's the brawling playstyle, but you get those laser pointers for secondaries, and it's pretty crazy. 2.6 million potential damage as well, which is not bad, and he took 121,000 points of damage, so he almost doubled the amount of HP that he started out with, so very good stuff right there. And then lastly, well, nope, no credit screen, my bad. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed Skylaw's replay. Skylaw, thank you for sending it in. It's always a pleasure to watch your stuff. And with that being said, this is the Sneaky Snake for Brothers in Arms World of Warships signing off. Guys and gals, as always, have a great day.